The average American eats at McDonald's 55 times a year. That's like having Ronald McDonald as your personal chef for almost 2 months straight. But before you grab those car keys for another McVisit, there's something you should probably know. Remember when your mom used to say, "You are what you eat"? Well, if that's true, most of us are talking about science experiments thanks to McDonald's burgers. Last week, I found a McDonald's burger I'd forgotten in my car from, wait for it, 3 weeks ago. The scary part? It looked exactly the same as the day I bought it. Not a spot of mold, not even a weird smell. My leftover homemade burgers turn into science projects after just 3 days. A regular burger has about 5 to 6 ingredients: meat, salt, pepper, and maybe some garlic or herbs if you're feeling fancy. But grab your reading glasses, because a McDonald's burger ingredient list reads like a chemistry textbook. We're talking about 70 different ingredients. That's not a burger, that's a science fair project that somehow ended up in the food industry. But what really gets me is the beef situation. While McDonald's claims to use 100% beef, they've mastered the art of making it taste the same everywhere. Every time. It's like they've discovered some sort of meat-flavored clone stamp tool in Photoshop, but for burgers. A friend of mine who used to work at a meat processing plant told me they use something called pink slime. Basically, all the leftover bits of meat cleaned with ammonia. Yummy, right? But the head-scratcher is that these burgers are practically immortal. Scientists have kept McDonald's burgers for years, and they look practically the same as day one. One researcher in Iceland even has a burger from 2009 on display in a glass case. It looks better than I do on most Monday mornings. The burger has its own webcam and everything. It's probably more famous than most Instagram influencers at this point. You might be thinking, well, maybe it's just really good preservation techniques? Sure. And maybe my cat is secretly writing a novel when I'm not home. The truth is, real food should decompose. If bacteria, which usually love a good meat feast, won't touch your burger, maybe that's nature's way of waving a big red flag. You'd think with all these chemicals, the healthiest choice would be to grab a salad instead. But McDonald's definition of healthy might just be their biggest illusion yet. 730 calories. That's how many calories are in a McDonald's Southwest salad with crispy chicken and dressing. For comparison, a Big Mac has 563 calories. You read that right. Choosing the healthy option at McDonald's is like going to a casino to save money. My friend Sarah spent an entire month eating only McDonald's salads, trying to lose weight. The only thing that got lighter was her wallet. The yogurt parfait might be the greatest magic trick McDonald's has ever pulled. It looks innocent enough. Yogurt, berries, granola. Sounds like something your fitness instructor would approve of, right? Wrong. One parfait packs 22 grams of sugar. That's more than 2 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. They've basically created a dessert and convinced everyone it's a breakfast health food. That's not marketing. That's straight-up sorcery. The psychology behind these healthy menu items is brilliant in an evil genius sort of way. McDonald's knows that when someone in a group wants to eat healthy, they can stop that person from vetoing McDonald's altogether. Look, we have salads, they say. It's like putting a treadmill in a candy store. It's not there for you to use. It's there to make you feel better about buying the candy. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can check it out in the description of this video down below. My personal favorite is their sliced apple bags. They took nature's perfect snack, cut it up, added preservatives to keep it from browning, and somehow made it less healthy than the original apple. It's like they're saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Unless it's our apple, then maybe keep the doctor's number handy. A nutritionist once told me that if you want to eat healthy at McDonald's, you should order a burger without the bun, no fries, and a water. At that point, you might as well just go home and eat a plain hamburger patty in your kitchen while staring at the wall. At least you'd save some money. And if you're thinking of treating yourself to dessert instead, good luck with that broken ice cream machine. Sorry, our ice cream machine is down. These 6 words have probably crushed more dreams than any high school rejection letter. It's become such a universal experience that people have actually created apps to track which McDonald's have working ice cream machines. That's right. There are literally tech startups dedicated to helping you find a working McFlurry. If that's not a sign of how bad things have gotten, I don't know what is. The numbers are wild. A recent survey found that about 30% of McDonald's ice cream machines are out of service at any given time. That's nearly 1/3 of all machines. If airlines had the same failure rate, we'd all still be traveling by horse and carriage. But these machines aren't actually broken most of the time. They're just throwing a tantrum. The machines are made by a company called Taylor, and they're basically the divas of the fast food equipment world. They require a 4-hour cleaning cycle every night, and if something goes even slightly wrong during this process, they lock up tighter than Fort Knox. Only certified Taylor technicians can unlock them. And guess who makes a fortune from repair calls? Ding, ding, ding. Taylor. A former McDonald's worker told me the secret menu of error codes on these machines is thicker than my high school chemistry textbook. There are more than 20 different error codes, and each one requires a different troubleshooting process. The poor employees often can't do anything except stare at the machine like it's a modern art piece they're pretending to understand. The whole situation has gotten so ridiculous that it's sparked multiple lawsuits. Franchise owners are suing because they're losing money, customers are suing because they can't get their ice cream fix, and somewhere in the middle, that Taylor machine is probably laughing at all of us. At least there's one menu item you can always count on getting: those famous fries. Though after learning what's in them, you might wish they were broken too. There's this amazing museum in Iceland that displays a McDonald's meal from their last restaurant before it closed in 2009. The fries look exactly like they did when they were served. Perfectly golden. No mold. Not even a hint of decay. My grandmother kept her wedding dress in pristine condition for 60 years, and these fries might give it some competition for best preserved item of the century. The curator just dusts them off occasionally, like they're some ancient artifact, which, I guess, technically, they are now, just not the kind Indiana Jones would get excited about. Here's a fun science experiment. Take some McDonald's fries and some homemade fries, put them side by side, and wait. The homemade fries will start growing things that would make a biology teacher excited within a week. But the McDonald's fries? They'll just sit there, mocking the laws of nature, looking exactly the same as they did on day one. It's like they've discovered the fountain of youth, but instead of sharing it with humans, they gave it to potatoes. A food scientist once explained to me that real potatoes contain enough moisture and nutrients to make them a paradise for bacteria and mold. But McDonald's fries go through so many processes and get loaded with so many preservatives that they're basically mummified before they even hit the fryer. They're like the ancient Egyptian pharaohs of fast food, preserved for eternity, but probably not something you want to put in your mouth. And don't get me started on the salt content. One medium serving of these eternal fries contains enough sodium to make a cardiologist faint. It's like they're trying to preserve us along with the fries. Maybe that's their secret plan: turn all their customers into human jerky. Speaking of mysterious processed foods, have you ever wondered what you're really eating at 4 a.m. when those McNugget cravings hit? Ring ring! Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to try our McNuggets? Those words at 4 a.m. hit differently. We've all been there. It's the middle of the night, you're hungry, and somehow those golden nuggets of mystery meat seem like the answer to all of life's problems. But that's when the real questions start popping up in your head. What am I actually putting in my body right now? The ingredient list for McNuggets reads like a final exam in advanced chemistry. There's this one ingredient called dimethylpolysiloxane, the same stuff they put in silly putty. McDonald's says it's just an anti-foaming agent for the cooking oil. I say, if you need to add anti-foaming agents to your chicken, maybe we should reconsider our life choices. The chicken part of the McNugget makes up about half of what you're eating. The other half? A mix of corn derivatives, leavening agents, and dextrose, which is basically a fancy way of saying sugar. Yes, they put sugar in their chicken. It's like they looked at a piece of chicken and thought, you know what this needs? Everything but chicken. A food scientist once broke down the manufacturing process for me. First, they take chicken parts and grind them into a paste. Then they add stabilizers, preservatives, and flavoring. Finally, they shape this mixture into those 4 famous shapes: the bell, the bow tie, the ball, and the boot. That's right. McNuggets come in exactly 4 shapes. It's like chicken Tetris, but everything is processed into oblivion. In a blind taste test, most people can't tell the difference between a McNugget and a nugget made from compressed paper towels soaked in chicken broth. I'm not making this up. This was an actual experiment done by food researchers. Their conclusion? We're not really tasting chicken anymore. We're tasting salt, sugar, and childhood memories. But if you think the nuggets are questionable, wait until you hear about those suspiciously perfect breakfast eggs. Because those perfectly round eggs on your McMuffin have more ingredients than your grandmother's secret cookie recipe. A real egg needs exactly 1 ingredient: an egg. But McDonald's eggs? They've turned breakfast into a science project with nearly 20 ingredients, including something called liquid margarine. My cousin works at a food manufacturing plant that supplies McDonald's. He told me they pre-cook the eggs, freeze them, then ship them to stores where they're reheated. The eggs arrive in perfectly shaped discs, like someone took a normal egg and put it through a Play-Doh mold factory. It's the only egg I've ever seen that comes with an instruction manual. The funny part is how they market these as freshly cracked eggs. Sure, they were freshly cracked 3 weeks ago in a factory 500 miles away. The only thing fresh about them is the heating lamp they sit under. It's like calling a frozen TV dinner home-cooked because you turned on your microwave. Here's a fact that'll ruin your breakfast. Those fluffy scrambled eggs in your breakfast burrito? They come in a milk carton. Not a regular milk carton. A massive industrial-sized carton filled with yellow liquid that looks like something from a sci-fi movie. The employees just shake it up and pour it on the grill. My friend who worked the breakfast shift said it reminded her of the stuff they used to make slime with in elementary school science class. The weirdest thing about these eggs isn't even their ingredients. It's how unnaturally perfect they look. Every egg is exactly the same size, the same shape, the same yellow color. It's like they're trying to make breakfast look like an Instagram filter. In nature, no 2 eggs are identical. At McDonald's, they've somehow managed to clone breakfast. Speaking of making things look perfect, You wouldn't believe the tricks McDonald's uses to get you to spend more money. Let's start with the color. Red and yellow will make you hungry. That's not just a random design choice. That's science. McDonald's picked these colors back in the 1960s because research showed they trigger appetite. It's like they're playing Hunger Games with our brains, and we're all tributes who volunteered without knowing it. Their menu screens are basically a masterclass in money extraction. They put the most profitable items at eye level, right where your eyes naturally land. Those cheap dollar menu items? They're hiding in the corner like teenagers who didn't get invited to prom. A marketing expert once told me that McDonald's rearranges their menu boards more often than I rearrange my furniture, all based on what they want us to buy that month. And don't get me started on their value meals. The only real value is the extra profit they make. Here's some math that'll blow your mind. Buying items separately often costs less than the combo meal. But we're all programmed to think combo total savings, like it's hardwired into our DNA. Last week, I ordered everything separately and saved $2.47. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, that's like half a gallon of gas these days. The most impressive is their use of smells. Those vents pumping out French fry aroma? They're strategically placed to hit you right when you're deciding what to order. My car automatically turns into the drive-through lane whenever it smells those fries. I'm pretty sure McDonald's has trained it like Pavlov's dog. Studies show that 70% of McDonald's customers end up spending more than they planned, just because of how the menu is designed. The "would you like to supersize that?" The question alone boosted their profits by millions before they officially retired it. Now they just have different words for the same trick. Would you like to make that a large? Same game, new name. But what happens when you finally break free from the golden arches? Well, my friend tried it for a month, and the results were pretty shocking. My friend thought quitting McDonald's for a month would be easy. 3 days in, his car was still automatically turning into the drive-through lane like it was possessed by the ghost of Ronald McDonald. Old habits die hard, especially when they're deep-fried. But then, the changes started rolling in faster than a drive-through order timer. His wallet got fatter. Those cheap meals were actually costing him about $200 a month. The physical changes came next. That puffy, "I just woke up in a salt mine," look disappeared from his face. His skin cleared up like he'd discovered some expensive beauty secret. Nope, just the magic of not eating food that has more preservatives than a mummy's tomb. His blood pressure dropped so much that his doctor called to make sure the reading wasn't a mistake. An average McDonald's meal packs about 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's more than half your daily limit in one sitting. By the end of the month, Tom had lost 11 pounds without changing anything else in his routine. Did my friend swear off McDonald's forever? Not exactly. He still goes occasionally. He's human, after all. But now it's a conscious choice, rather than an autopilot response to hunger. As he puts it, it's like that ex you know isn't good for you. You might grab coffee once in a while, but you're not giving them a key to your house again.